Roblox has millions of games, but somehow the same 10 keep getting shoved in your face. So today I'm showing you 20 games that are actually good but barely anyone talks about. Some of these have insane production value for how few players they get, so let's not waste any more time, let's get into it. Game number 1, Stars Align. This is a 3D collectathon platformer where you play as an angel-like star child on a mission to gather stars scattered across different planets and restore the galaxy of Loom back to its former glory. Along the way, you have to fight off dark matter and help out other angels living on these planets. The whole thing has a genuinely charming art style and it feels something straight out of a proper console platformer instead of a random Roblox game. Game number 2, Black Tails. If you grew up on Paper Mario or Earthbound, this game is going to hit different. It's a turn-based RPG set in a retro version of 2010 Roblox where your goal is to collect a set of ancient swords and fight your way through enemies to save Builderman. It's pulled in over 126 million visits, so calling it fully underrated might be a stretch, but it still doesn't get talked about nearly as much as it deserves, so considering how well made it is. Game number 3, Robot 64. This is a heavily inspired by Super Mario 64 and honestly it nails that feeling perfectly. You play as a robot named Peebo and your whole job is to explore wacky worlds and collect ice cream to destroy the sun before it wipes out everything. There's even a level editor where you can build and show your own stages and it's got over 60 million plays, but you think a platformer this polished would be way more popular than it is. Game number 4, Fighting. This is a class-based third-person shooter where every character is based on old classic Roblox gears reimagined with a modern twist. You team up with 4 other players and pick from 15 different fighters to battle it out across more than 25 maps. Every character has their own dialogue and interactions with each other, which adds a surprising amount of personality to the game, and is still technically in alpha but it plays better than a lot of fully released shooters. Game number 5, The Relic. This is an open-world action RPG inspired by Souls-like combat and MMO progression systems and is genuinely one of the more ambitious games on this list. You explore a desolate dystopian world, fight through dungeons, take on brutal bosses, and level up your insight the more you fight. Still in active development, but what's already there feels like a real Dark Souls experience back into Roblox. Number 6, Randomly Generated Droids. This is a procedurally generated roguelike focused heavily on sword fighting and every single run plays out differently. You battle over 50 different droid enemy types, unlock classes that change how you play, and mess around with more than 50 weapons and 100 items. If the game somehow gets too easy for you, you can stack ascension levels for an actual challenge. Game number 7, Visionary Squad. This game combines tower defense with a first-person shooter, and the concept is honestly really clever. You can fight on the ground as one of 30 different characters, or become the visionary and oversee the entire operation from above like a commander. There's a standard wave defense, an endless survival mode, and even a mixtape mode that randomizes enemy waves so no round ever feels the same. Game number 8, Arcane Odyssey. This is a massive open-world magic RPG where you sail across the war seas. Choose a magic element and get pulled into the middle of kingdoms fighting over powerful artifacts called curses. You can master your magic, pick up fighting styles and weapons, capture islands with a clan, and build up your own castle. It's got a genuinely deep story for a Roblox game and the scale of the world alone makes it worth checking out. Game number 9, Write a Letter. This one's a lot more low-key but it's got a surprisingly loyal following. The whole concept is writing letters for a friend or a complete stranger, saving notes in your own journal and exploring the map's hidden locations and secret areas. It's less about objectives and more about the quiet, cozy vibe of just writing and reading what other people leave behind. Game number 10, Helmet. This is a helmet camera first-person shooter that takes a much slower, more methodical approach to the door-breaching simulator genre that most games in that space. You play as a squad of operatives carrying out tactical missions, and the whole thing is set about 10 years before the events of Dummies vs Noobs. It's still in open alpha but the tension it builds room by room is genuinely impressive. Game 11, Pizza Game Beta. Despite the name, this game has almost nothing to do with pizza. It's actually a roguelike first-person shooter inspired by Doom and Tower Fortress, and it's honestly a lot more intense than the title makes it sound. It's still unfinished, but the fast-paced chaotic combat already feels really solid for how early it is in development. Number 12, Strategema. If you're into real-time strategy games, this one deserves way more attention than it gets. Your goal is to conquer the battlefield either by force or through diplomacy, researching technology, building up cities, and managing an army at your own pace. It's got a relaxed feel to it compared to most RTS games, which makes it a lot more approachable if you have never played the genre before. Game 13, Combat Initiation. This is a fast-paced arena brick battle game heavily inspired by Ultra Kill, where you and up to 5 other players fight through relentless waves of enemies up a deadly spire. You get 7 branching weapons to choose from, along with gear and style systems that reward you for fighting with skill. It's pulled in over 56 million visits but somehow still only sits around 1,000 players at a time, which makes it one of the most slept-on games on this entire list. Number 14, Epic Minigames. This game has been around for years and is still one of the most underrated ways to kill time on Roblox. It throws you into a rotating collection of 139 different minigames, from parkour challenges to chaotic button smashers, and you earn coins to spend on gear, pets, and cosmetics. With billions of total visits, it's not exactly a secret, but it rarely gets brought up compared to the platform's biggest names. Game 15, How's Your Day? This one's a lot more emotional than most games on this list. You play as a midnight barista serving drinks and listening to your customers' stories while trying to leave them with a little more hope than they came in with. There are multiple different endings depending on how you play, and a lot of people describe it as one of the more genuinely touching experiences they had on Roblox. Number 16, Decaying Winter. This is a wave-based survival shooter where you pick one of 20 different character classes and get dropped into a hostile storm-ravaged planet. During the day, you scavenge for supplies, and at night, you're forced into a safe zone where you have to fight a wave of enemies using whatever you manage to find. A typical match runs for 10 rounds, and the tension of not knowing if you scavenge enough gear makes every night genuinely stressful. Game 17, Crossroads. This is a remastered version of one of the original classic Roblox games, and it's a free-for-all brick battle map where you fight other players using weapons like bombs, rockets, swords, and paintball guns. It's got a nostalgic old-school Roblox feel to it, but the remaster gives it enough polish to still hold up as a genuinely fun game today. Number 18, Q-Surf. This is a sci-fi roleplay experience set inside a research facility, hiding a prototype dark matter reactor back in 1985. You become an employee of the facility, and depending on how things go, you'll either help save it or end up watching it all fall apart. It's got a really immersive, almost cinematic atmosphere to it that you don't see in a lot of other Roblox roleplay games. Game 19, Pillar Chase. This is an asymmetrical horror game where one player controls a monster and everyone else has to survive and complete objectives before the time runs out. The game recently got a remake, bringing in new monsters, maps, and classes to help you escape or delay the killer. If you're into games like Dead by Daylight, this is basically Roblox's take on that formula, and it does really well. And finally, number 20, Noobs in Combat. This is a turn-based strategy game where you command platoons of classic Roblox noobs through a series of military campaigns ranging from World War II all the way to the Cold War. You work alongside allies, whether they're bots or real players, to plan out your moves and take down the enemy. It's a completely different pace from everything else on this list, but if you like slower tactical gameplay, this one's a hidden gem. And that's all for the underrated Roblox games that are actually worth your time. Let me know in the comments which one you're adding to the list first, and if you already played any of these, drop your thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. Thank you.